Good afternoon, Sarah. It's good to see you again. How have you been since the last time we saw each other?
You know, I'm making it. I'm just so frustrated. I just don't know what to do. And I tried some of the stuff that you said last time, and it seems to help a little bit. But the kids and not being able to work, and my husband having to do everything, it's just so frustrating. 18 years with that company, and then all of a sudden, it's all gone. I mean, I grew up that you worked for a company your whole life. You didn't quit. You didn't get laid off. It's just I just don't know what to do. It's so frustrating. And now I'm competing against these people who have degrees and everything, and you have to have a degree to get the job that I basically trained to do from the bottom up. I worked so hard. I started in the stock room and was management, and now they want me to go back. They want me to go back down to, even below assistant management. I go back basically to where I began, and I just don't know what to do. And the kids, two teenagers, well, one preteen, one teenager, it's just, they don't understand, and I get upset with them, and they get upset with me, and I've been yelling at the kids, and I don't want to yell at them, and I just feel like I'm a failure to them, I feel like, I did something wrong for the company to go under the way it did. And I know it didn't have anything to do with me. But, I just feel like a failure now. I guess I don't know where that comes from, but my generation, you worked your whole life. And now it's all gone. It's all thrown away. Everything I worked so hard for. And what can I say? What can I do? I just don't know what to do now.
What I hear you saying is that you invested a lot of yourself into this company, into this job, and you felt a great deal of accountability for the position. So you were, refresh my memory, what exactly is it that you did there? You were in management, right?
Yeah, I was district manager.
Okay.
And over the southern district and everything. And, I had 4 stores, four not stores, but offices that we were working with, and we were looking into getting the 5th one. And then all of a sudden, things just started to spiral out of control. And the next thing I knew, we were all without jobs.
So you worked in technology,
yeah.
Correct? Okay. And I think I recall from last time you said that a lot of those positions had moved overseas, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, they've been outsourced. Jamaica, China, Japan. They've just all been outsourced, and now there's so many people, but not enough jobs.
Right.
You've got like 5 people with all my qualifications vying for maybe one job, and they've got college credentials and everything. Where I started out in the stock room right out of high school. I worked from the ground up, and I didn't, take time to go to college. I learned it all manually, and now I don't have paperwork to compete.
So what I hear you saying is that you feel like your worth is being determined by that paper. That people are viewing your worth by that paper.
And I don't get it. I went through the school of harder learning by having to, learn it on her job.
Right.
rather than being in a classroom and learning it. And I don't know. I don't want to be angry, but it makes me angry at myself for not, not taking the time to go to college. I could have done it, but I mean, I had the kids, the marriage, work, and the house, and trying to.
So you had a lot of other responsibilities to manage,
Yeah.
and that just didn't seem like a priority.
Yeah, at the time I thought, no, later I'll do it. Now there is no later, and I just feel just lost.
So I want to ask you a couple of questions, okay, about a few things that you've brought up in this first few minutes of us speaking. First, you said that you felt guilty. You felt responsible for the company going under, right?
Yeah.
But as we've established, a lot of that had to do with outsourcing a lot of the technology components to these other countries, and that wasn't really your area.
Yeah.
You handled a lot more to do with the sales component in
Yeah.
the tech. Okay, so what, if anything, do you feel like you could have done differently?
I don't know. It just feels like there should have been something I could have done to help, or maybe if we'd known what was happening, because the upper management didn't tell us. We didn't know until 2 weeks before the company went under that there was even a problem. We didn't know that they were outsourcing. They had never told us that they were outsourcing any of the jobs or the equipment and stuff that we were needing and we're selling to our customers until we turn around and we're obsolete in a way.
So you didn't have the knowledge of what
No.
was happening, and from what we've talked about, I don't think you were in a position where you could have changed that.
Yeah.
You could have, changed those strategies. So, by that logic, does it seem rational to feel guilty? When you
Not
think about it,
really.
when you take your
Yeah.
heart out of it.
When you think about it, I mean, there's nothing I could have done, but
And saying that, say that again.
that there's absolutely nothing I could have done because it was management's choice to outsource, and I really don't think it'll be a profitable venture, them outsourcing. I figure at some point they're going to turn around and realize they made a big mistake because they had a lot of hard-working people, and we all had a lot of connections with the people we were selling the products and stuff to. Everything we were doing, it wasn't just, we were like family.
Right.
And, I think that's one reason I'm having so much trouble with everything is it felt like family, and now all of a sudden it's gone.
Well, and you've been with the company for 18 years.
Yeah, I knew everybody.
A lot of the people have been there with you from the beginning, so yeah, it
Yeah.
makes sense that it felt like
I mean,
family.
We knew our customers personally, and now they're having to deal with somebody in the Philippines, and I just wish there was a way to, go back, but there's nothing I can do, but I just don't really know what else to do. I mean, this is a job I've known my whole entire life, and now I don't know what else to do.
So it almost feels like you're grieving,
Yeah.
like that is a loss for you.
Yeah.
And I know we talked a bit before about, in your childhood, and that you had some issues within your own family.
Yeah.
Some struggles there with your siblings and relations not being great. And so do you feel like the people that you met there kind of became your family?
Yeah. I mean, and another thing that's not helping is my siblings are, pointed out how they have these guaranteed jobs because they went to college and everything, and how now I don't have anything, but I still talk to my coworkers, to a lot of them and everything, and they're like, you'll find something else. You'll get back on your feet. Don't worry about it. And as for your brother saying, he's got this great job. Well, the reason he has the great job is because I paid for him to go to college.
Right. And you feel like he doesn't appreciate that.
When I started right out of school, my whole goal was to take care of my brothers and help them better themselves. But now they're like, throwing it in my face, and I'm like, the reason I'm here is, part of the reason is because I did things for you when I could have been doing them for myself, helping them and everything. But yeah, my coworkers we're still talking, Facebook and everything, and
so they're still a part of your life.
Yeah.
Maybe in a different way than before, but you haven't lost them fully.
More on the same level now. We're all on the same playing field now, trying to get jobs and trying to.
So you're kind of all in the same boat, so to speak.
Yeah.
Supporting one another. I know you had mentioned that one of your coworkers that you were really close to, Corey, I think you said his name was, had gotten on at a company, and that he had been talking to you about some potential positions coming up in there later on.
Yeah, he was telling me the other day, and actually he messaged me before I left today, that the company he's working with now is something like LASIK was, and they're looking for, not district management like I was in, but, management positions as well. But I'm not sure, if I take that position with with the company he's with now, I'm not sure I'll have enough to, my husband's struggling really hard to pay the bills and everything. But, and this job, while it will give me management foothold, it doesn't make as much as I was making before.
Yeah.
And that's really hard, learning how to go from having all that money and all that security, the health and stock in the company and everything, and now all of a sudden it's all gone, and it's just, do I take that position and it'd be a downgrade from where I was, or do I see it as not a downgrade but step, and then I'm going to go up? I don't know if I'm going to go up or if I'm going to go down, or it's just really frustrating. And he keeps saying, just think of it as a step, first step, and you'll be okay. But he doesn't have kids, and he's younger, and he doesn't have kids, but
he doesn't have the same level of responsibility that you do.
All the things I've got to take care of and everything, but I don't know. I don't know whether to take this position that's lower down, or struggle and try to get a position that's higher up. And most of the positions I've looked at have been in other states. So could I move? Should I move? There's so many questions to ask, and my husband's like, well, what about going back to school? Maybe go ahead and get the papers. You got all this knowledge and everything. You've got more learning than most people who have book learning, and you could do that. But at the same time, I'm like, will it pay off to go back to school? Would it be a good idea? Do I take the job, or do I go to school?
Got some decisions to make, but the positive side of that is you do have options, right? Yeah. It sounds like, and I know you and your husband have been having a hard time lately with communicating and struggling with the children, not really fully understanding why they can't have all the things that they had before, and that some changes have needed to be made. But it sounds like he's willing to support you with whichever direction you go in. So you can either, look at the educational piece and, couple that with your experience for something else, or, look at this position and look at it as kind of a stepping stone. If they'll give you the opportunity to be able to prove yourself, then they may be willing to promote you without the degree.
One thing I've wondered is there any way I could do the management position job and then maybe take night classes or something? Maybe I thought about that, but it's really scary. I mean, I went straight from school to work. I never thought about going to school, going to college or anything. I thought about it for my brothers, and never got everything going on. But I was the oldest. I felt like I had to be responsible for, taking care of them, making sure they were okay, making sure mom was okay. And my dad passing away when we were young, it left her having to struggle to raise 3 kids, and I had to pick up the slack.
I want to ask you, we talked a few minutes ago about your self-worth and feeling as though not having a piece of paper is a determinant of self-worth. But you've also expressed a lot of admiration for your mother. And I know that she didn't have a college degree. So would you say that because she didn't have a college degree, she's not worthy?
No. She worked in the factory. Mm-hmm. Then she worked, at home with the bakery she started from the kitchen. And now she has her own bakery and everything. And so I think really she gave me the basis to believe that, with hard work you could get a good job and you could have that. You could have that job security, but I never thought about losing it. But yeah, I think she really has done more without a piece of paper than she has with. But and I think that's true of me too.
You need to hold yourself to the same standard as you would her, right?
Yeah.
And if she is a worthwhile individual without that piece of paper, then doesn't it make sense that you, who have followed a very similar path, who has worked hard and provided for her family, and not only that, but her brothers prior to having your own children, has supported her husband through some trying times that he's had in his past, I would say that makes you equally admirable, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I think I think I will take that management position and, just keep faith it's going to get better. I know that I did it before. Why can't I do it again?
It's true. You have done it before.
I took one leap. I was only 23 when they offered me the first step up out of the stock room and everything, managing the stock room, and got that position, and then found out I was pregnant. So that was a twofold good thing there, but
scary.
It was scary. I was scared about the job. I thought I was sick from being scared, stressed, and everything. And then the doctor was like, "No, you're pregnant." And I'm like, "What?" So but and then that was Tommy, and Jenny came about the time that I got the district management position. I got that position, thought again, nervous, scared, no, pregnant. So this time, I know it's not pregnant. It's just nervous and scared this time. But, and I think the kids are just going to have to learn like I did when I was kid, that
Mhm.
you can't have everything. They just got money.
So, I mean,
It's
your
hard
life
on
was
me,
very
hard on them.
different
Yeah.
before your father passed,
Yeah.
right? And then after he passed, things changed.
Yeah, a lot. We lost the house, the car. Had to move in with my grandmother.
So, you're nowhere near having to make those decisions at this point, right? For your children, it's not going to be as impactful. It's just, hey, you can't have that new cell phone. Hey, well, let's wait until Christmas to get you that
can't have
new
the
video
VR.
game. Yes, exactly. So it's not, you're not uprooting them. They're not having to do without.
They're not
just-
losing their dad and everything, and I know he's trying really hard to be supportive, and I know it's really hard on him. I mean, his job is very, very stressful. Being a police officer, I think it's really stressful, and he made sergeant, so that's good. He's more desk duty now, so that takes a little bit of the worry about him being out on the street, and
Mhm.
bad things can happen.
And I'm assuming a bit of a pay increase came with that. So.
Yeah, a little, but it's
So that's going to help.
That's a little bit of help,
Yeah,
but
to make that difference.
So maybe this management position, even though it's lower pay than what I was making and everything, I can always say at least somewhat at McDonald's. Yeah. I remember that job extremely well. I don't eat there. I still don't eat there. I don't. The food's okay.
And that's been almost 20 years. So.
Yeah, the food's okay and everything. It's just that, and it's a lot different than it was back then. So there's step forward and everything. So, but maybe with him getting the desk job and everything, a little less stress. If I take this management position, it might be a little less, but and if he wants that new cell phone, maybe it's time he got a part-time job.
Well, you had one at that age.
Yeah. And I mean, I helped Mom in the bakery and did school and took care of the boys and also did the part-time job and everything with McDonald's and everything. So, maybe that's what I need to focus on is, if you want that, you gotta do this to get that, just the same as I had to do it, and
that might help him learn the values. So you can almost maybe look at this as, I don't want to go as far as to say that this is a positive thing, but there are positives that can come from this.
Yeah. I hate that the company's gone, but I also heard that there's a new company coming in there, and so maybe they'll be a better, help some of the people who have lost their jobs and everything, and because there were some that were never in management, they were in the stock room and everything, and they lost their jobs, and it's harder for them to find jobs too.
Right.
And
maybe if you take this position, if that's the decision that you make, if that's the choice that you make, and again, you do have options, right? Then maybe you can help them as well. The same way that Corey's helping you to, talk to his bosses about bringing you in. Maybe, you can
I
keep
trained
them in
him,
the
so.
know. Right.
So that's a nice thing that he's trying to help me, and that way I can turn around and help others. So, but thank you. I feel a lot better. I'm not quite so befuddled.
And sometimes you just need to talk things out and have someone to reflect some of the things that you're saying and help you identify the strengths that you have. And you do have a lot of those. You have your strong work ethic. You have not only your family, your biological family, your husband, who is supportive, your children, but you have the family that you made in your 18 years with that company.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they are still very much a strong support network for you.
Yeah.
And you for them. So there are a lot of things that you have going for you.
Yeah, Corey already said that there was at least 3 of the other office staff and everything already in the office. So maybe not quite so scary, because I know some people there, and it's not quite so frightening for me and everything to go into a new place, and I'm not sure exactly what I'll be doing completely, but it's something similar to the sales we did there, and you never know. Might turn out to be just as good as it was previously.
So what are some things that you think that you could do, 1 or 2 things that you think that you could do to take away some of the fear and anxiety about going in and applying for this position and interviewing for this job?
One thing I've been thinking about the other day is the way I dress. I've been so down, I just don't even feel like dressing. I used to, suit and everything, well, not business suit, but, slacks and nice blouses and stuff, and here lately I've been in nothing but t-shirts and jogging pants, and haven't had my hair done in forever. I might see my sister-in-law, she might cut that for me. That might make me feel better. And, maybe see if I can meet Corey one day at the office, just to kind of get a peek at the office, see what it's like, and if I do the interview, just kind of, look around and see what I think of it, That might help make me feel a little better if I get to meet some of the people he's working with and get to see where he's working and everything. If I can see it before I do it.
Yeah.
Dip your toes in the water to see what it's like and everything.
Well, we all have a very powerful tool that we carry around, most of us, in our pocket.
The phone.
The phone, right? And, basically our little computers that we have with us. So I would recommend maybe doing a little bit of research about the company. Know what kind of products they have before you go in there. Make sure that you have questions to ask about things that are relevant, and that you know a little bit of history about the place, and that's really going to help as well.
I know that they sell almost not exactly the same type of products and stuff that we did, but something similar to that. So a little research, a little recon. Quote my son, recon. That would help a lot. Also getting myself to where I feel better. If I look better, I'll feel better. I think that's
That
another
does
thing.
help sometimes.
Yeah.
I know that me personally, sometimes when I'm feeling a little blah, I can just make a small external change, and that can make a difference internally as well.
I actually dyed my hair for the first time in forever the other day, and that seems to have helped a little bit. Way too much gray. But, and I know a lot of people that do see the gray and they think, oh, yeah, but I did dye my hair the other day, and maybe, like you said, research the company and, go and, maybe check it out a little bit and see what I think of it and everything. And as for the kids, maybe, tell them, we're going to have to buckle down. If you want that new cell phone, you're going to have to work for it, go help grandma in the bakery.
Right. Right, right. And that's always
That's an option. I could, even if, while I'm waiting for that job, I could, go help her in the bakery and everything. Maybe do that. Maybe that would make me feel a little bit better to get out and do something, because I've been moping around the house. My husband says I've been moping like one of the teenagers, except I'm not attached to my cell phone the way they are.
Yeah. I feel like that your children are old enough that, you can have an open conversation with them about why changes are necessary. Because they're not children anymore. They are young adults at this point, teenager and a preteen. They have enough awareness to understand a little bit more than they would if they were, 6 and 7 when this happened. And, this could also be an opportunity to, help ensure that they understand the value of a strong work ethic and having the willingness to pick yourself up and start over. Because I know you said that that's something that you were taught that in your generation, you went to work and you stayed there. But it sounds like, your mother started over.
Yeah, she was a stay-at-home mom, and just, Dad just suddenly had a heart attack, and we had to move in with Grandma because, trying to come find out, the company was supposed to have life insurance on them, and they didn't. And so, we didn't have anything to fall back on. And so we had to land up starting all over. But we can, that was really, really hard. We moved 3 states away from what we considered home. I love my grandma, but, Mom and her didn't get along very well, and her trying to work and take care of the kid, take care of us and everything. And I think it did teach us a little bit more about being, self-sufficient and reliable, and, but, she worked 2 jobs and raised 3 kids, and we made it to adulthood somehow.
Right.
Especially 2 boys.
Now, I remember you mentioning that you were very glad you did not have both boys.
Sometimes it's a blessing, sometimes it's, because she's just as, she will get into as much trouble as her brother, and, she tries to follow in his footsteps for everything she does. She's always following after him. And I try to explain to him that she's, watching him, what he does, what he says, and she's mimicking everything, from the time she was able to talk, to walk, she's mimicked, I think we do. We mimic our brothers and sisters. We watch them to see.
Well, those are our role models. When we model our behavior after what we consider, the grown-ups in our life, and even though, he's only a few years older, to her, that's a lifetime.
Yeah.
And we do tend to model ourselves after the people that we see and take lessons from them and apply them to our lives.
But, maybe it'll be a good thing if he does work, and it'll show her, that she can do it too. And, I don't expect her to get a job right away. She's almost a teen. You get to that age and you're like, oh my goodness. But
well, we have a couple of minutes left that we need to, so we need to be wrapping up.
Okay.
I really do think that you've got a good plan. That you're gonna talk to your children and be a little more transparent with them. That you're going to do some research about this company. Take a little time to take care of yourself. And instead of everyone else, because that tends to be your mode of operation is everybody else first and yourself last. So we want to spend a little time taking care of yourself and not feeling guilty about that, right? And get together with Corey, see if you can grab lunch, get a tour of the place that you may be working, and really get a feel for how it feels there.
Yeah.
And see if that's a place that you would like.
Yeah.
And you would like to go. And I would say, it's not out of the realm of possibility that if at some point you do want to pursue your education, that you could do that.
With the kids growing up,
The kids are older, your husband is stable, he's got a desk job now, so he's not going to be working those crazy hours. So, this may be a good time to start a new chapter.
Yeah. And, maybe if I go help Mom a little bit, that'll make me feel a little bit better. Help her out a little bit. She's getting ready to retire soon, so. And get it all situated. And I know I gotta get going, so thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, and if you would like to meet again next week and talk about how things have progressed, just stop at the front and schedule an appointment, and I will see you then, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks, Sarah. Bye-bye.
Bye.